Join me today as I make some fresh milled flour Crumbl sugar cookies. It's a copycat recipe. Welcome to White Shadow Fare. Make it homemade and make it with love. As always, we're going to start by milling our flour. Because this is cookies, I'm doing soft white wheat, but any soft berry would work. You need 375 grams of berries. To your mixer, you're going to add 1 cup or 226 grams of softened room temperature butter. Make sure that all of your ingredients are at room temperature, and you're going to cream your butter for 2 minutes. Now, I keep my house pretty cold, but even creaming the butter really did work well. To this, after your 2 minutes is up, you're going to add 1 cup or 227 grams of cane sugar or regular white sugar if that's what you have on hand. And go ahead and give that just a little while to mix in. Scrape down the sides and make sure that you have all of your butter and sugar completely incorporated with one another. Now here I'm just getting everything off the sides, off my inner chamber there, and making sure that it's completely mixed together. And don't worry, because now we're going to add some eggs and it will get very creamy if it hasn't done so yet. So 2 eggs that have been sitting out at room temperature. And if you don't have room temperature eggs, you can put your eggs in water that is slightly warm and it will come to room temperature within about 5 minutes. So after we have our 2 eggs in, you can see that everything looks nice and creamy. Now, I've never been to Crumbl cookies, but this is one of their #1 sellers. 1 teaspoon or 4 grams of vanilla extract. It called for almond extract as well. I'm not a huge almond person, but it did taste great in these cookies. 1/2 teaspoon or 2 grams of almond extract. And I'm just checking things out and making sure that everything got well mixed. So you're going to scrape down the sides there. This cookie is going to be perfect for Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day. Think of all the things that are coming up. Birthdays, the spring holidays that you have coming up, and even picnics in the summertime and 4th of July. So I'm just mixing it a little bit more, and because the batter sometimes splashes out, I put my cover on. 1 tablespoon or 13 grams of baking powder, and I just kind of slowly add that in. Baking powder is important. It's going to give your cookies the loft that they need. Otherwise, you'll have kind of flat cookies. Slowly add that 375 grams of soft white wheat. And I just am spooning this in nice and slow. It is going to become a very thick batter. Depending on what mixer you have, you might have to stop your mixer and do some of this by hand. My mixer handled it well, but I know that my old mixer would not have done so well with this because it is a very thick batter. You are going to have the happiest family when they have these wonderful sugar cookies to eat. Now, we have really been cutting out sweets. It might not seem like it, but when I make something like this is something that I hand off to other people. We each taste one and then we give it away. Just make sure that you're always scraping down your bowl when making something like this because you want to get everything mixed and blended well, especially before it becomes too thick and you're not able to mix it anymore. You are going to get all of the flour incorporated here. You shouldn't see any flour left, but you aren't going to mix it beyond that point. Once you can't see any flour and you know you've scraped it down, then you are done mixing. Now, anytime you bake cookies or cakes with fresh milled flour, you're going to want to let it sit for a little while, and that is no different. So I'm just taking the paddles out here, and I'm going to scrape the excess dough off. This is going to make 1 dozen very large cookies. You could make smaller cookies, but I'm following the recipe here. You're going to cover and place in the refrigerator for at least an hour, and that is going to help soften the brand so that you don't have a gritty feeling from your flour that you have milled. Now we're going to make the frosting by starting off with 1/2 cup of room temperature butter, which is 113 grams. And to that, we are going to add a little bit of almond extract, about 1 teaspoon, and a little bit of vanilla extract, about a teaspoon of that as well. We're just making a simple buttercream, but the almond flavor is in addition to that buttercream, because as I said before, the Crumbl cookies have a almond flavoring to them. And we're going to slowly mix in 3 cups of powdered sugar. Now, it is going to become quite thick, and you are going to use some milk. The fuller fat milk is better, so if you had cream, go ahead and use that. If you have whole milk, use that. I only had 2% on hand, and it worked out just fine. You're only going to need about 4 tablespoons in total, or 61 grams. And I'm just pouring in 1 tablespoon at a time, because powdered sugar can become too wet too quickly. So you will have to determine whether you need more or less, making it spreadable. But I did end up using all 4 tablespoons. So we're just mixing this to get all of the powdered sugar in. And when it gets a little too thick, I'm adding a little bit more of that milk. And you can see, here I am continuing. As I said before, you want to add everything slowly. You don't want any lumps of powdered sugar here. Once you have this made, you are going to put a cover on it and set it off to the side so that you can ice those cookies later on. I used 1 drop of pink food coloring. I normally wouldn't use food coloring. It's just not something that I enjoy using, but I had it on hand, and the Crumbl cookies always have a pink frosting to them. I tasted it. It was delicious. I'm just covering it up, setting it off to the side, and once my cookies had sat in the refrigerator for an hour, I took them out and I used my large ice cream scoop, and then I used the bottom of this little glass jar just to flatten them down a little bit. I'm not making them like super thin or anything, but I'm getting them to start because they're such huge cookies. And I can only put on 6 cookies at a time on each one of these sheets. So you're going to bake in a preheated 350-degree oven for exactly 12 minutes. And when they come out of the oven, you are going to let them cool on the pan for 3 minutes. Now that is important. You do not want your cookies breaking, so let them cool on the pan. And then move them over to the cooling rack to cool completely. You're not going to frost them until they have cooled completely. Your frosting will start to kind of melt off the sides, and it will not be very appealing. And here you can see that it's just lightly golden on the bottom of them. Now my husband actually preferred these cookies plain. He ate his without any frosting. As I said, we're trying to do a little less sugar, and so we've kind of gotten used to that. My granddaughter was ecstatic when she saw these cookies, and she actually liked the icing more than the cookie. Do this the way that you want. There's a picture of a real Crumbl cookie from their website. I think we did pretty well here. Since we're using whole wheat flour, ours are going to be a little bit darker, but the hard white wheat gave us a beautiful color here. And these are huge cookies. I mean, just absolutely enormous. I can't imagine anybody could eat more than one of these at a sitting, or even one of these at a sitting. So here I am giving it a try. It's nice and soft on the inside. They are delicious, as one would expect a sugar cookie to be. You can see how big it is in my hand. It's thick. It's large in size. This would make a great teacher gift. They're soft, they're thick, they're delicious cookies, perfect for any holiday or gathering. Thank you for joining me at White Shadow Fair. I hope you will give this one a try.